Good afternoon. This is Darnelda Seegers, Mayor of the District of Sechelt, and today is April 7th. I've been getting questions about the changes that Transport Canada announced on Sunday, April 5th, and what those changes mean for BC ferries and for the residents of the community. The intent of the measures announced are to protect both staff and passengers from transmission of COVID-19 and are applicable for ferries and commercial passenger vessels carrying more than 12 passengers in Canada. So what does this mean for BC ferries? Well, first, Transport Canada issued both an interim order and also guidelines. The order and the guidelines differentiate between essential and non-essential travel. BC ferries is considered essential travel, so will continue to operate. Non-essential commercial marine vessels must cease operations. BC ferries must, however, follow the Transport Canada order and must make reasonable efforts to implement the guidelines. So under the order, BC ferries must do one of two things: either reduce the maximum number of passengers by 50% on each of the vessels, or implement other practices to reduce the risk of spreading COVID-19 among passengers, such as keeping people in their vehicles when feasible, or implement even more enhanced cleaning measures. BC ferries has pretty much already implemented these processes so that they are in compliance with the order. Now, under the guidelines, BC ferries must make reasonable efforts to implement processes for all passengers before boarding to better protect their employees and fellow passengers. They are encouraged to implement passenger health screening, enhanced hygiene practices, and physical distancing measures. One thing they are encouraged to do is adopt pre-boarding health screening. Notice I said encouraged. It is not mandatory, and they will have to figure out how they will operationalize the guidelines, so what processes they will use, and how they will staff and implement it. Since residents have heard about the potential for pre-boarding health screening, they have expressed concerns about being refused boarding if they are not well. Given the ferry may be the only way for someone to get to a hospital or medical facility, provisions for quarantine while on board is an alternative that BC ferries can implement instead. BC ferries will need to determine what processes they will implement that meet the guidelines and how they will be staffed. So watch for more information to come out in the coming days from BC ferries. In the meantime, stay home, stay safe, and stay 6 feet apart.